Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to another unreleased WWE Mattel action figure video. We have already done one of these and I thought I'd pretty much got everything. Turns out I was fantastically wrong because we've got part 2 right now, and not only that, I think I've even found a few more things for part 3. So if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe because I am going to be working on part 3 of this series. But let's focus on this video. Let's focus on part 2 and let's start with these. Now, these are the NXT TAKEOVER Basics. This is a series that they no longer make, and Series 3 was meant to come out, but I've heard it was completely cancelled. The reason I say I heard it was cancelled is because we don't get these in the UK anyway. Like, they're just impossible to find. So, I don't know if these came out in America, but I've seen online, on forums, and actually seen from the head designer at Mattel, conversations where they're talking about they don't think they're going to come out now. The fact that the series was cancelled, the fact that they're not sure when we'll see Billie Kay or Roderick Strong. So some of these may have got out to market, but apparently that Billie Kay and Roderick Strong in particular did not. I've had a lot of people talking to me about this Paige figure as well, so I don't know if that ever made it out to market. I honestly don't know about any of these figures. What I do know is they're super rare, super hard to find, may never have been released, so definitely worth a look. So there we go, Billie Kay has had a figure, and what's weird about these as well is they all come with belts, but the belts don't make a great deal of sense because Billie Kay never won the NXT Women's Championship. Roderick Strong, of course, did win the NXT tag titles, but not that version as far as I can remember. I think it was the newer version of the belt. Xavier Woods never won the NXT tag titles. I think he was an FCW champion, but never an NXT tag champion. We've got Paige. Of course, she did win that title. She was the first NXT Women's Champion. And then we've got Triple H in a suit, which looks awesome. And you get the NXT Championship. Of course, he's never won that, but NXT is his baby, so it does make sense. Next up, I've got a load of one-off figures. These are figures that were made just once and for very different reasons. The first thing we're going to look at is the Widowmaker. This was made as a competition prize for a competition for the game SmackDown vs. Raw 2011. It was won by Outlaw Viper. And this image is taken from a video on the official WWE 2K YouTube channel. So you can see that is the actual one-of-a-kind Widowmaker figure. I believe it was based on a character that Outlaw Viper designed, and then the best design got turned into a figure. How cool is that? Next up, we've got a Make-A-Wish figure. This is Alex the Bulldog. Now, you might remember that we've spoken a lot about the John Cena Make-A-Wish figure. I'm a big fan of that figure. Genuinely, I think it's a great idea. Obviously, Make-A-Wish is a great cause. Well, the person that designed that was called Alex Mendoza, and not only did he win that as a prize to design that figure, they made him his own figure, Alex the Bulldog, Alex Mendoza. You can see the figure here, very cool actually. They've really captured his likeness. He's in like a bear costume. It's got a removable headpiece. It looks very cool. What a great day that must have been. And then we've got Drax Shadow. Drax Shadow. So there was a kid called Elijah who submitted a Tough Enough application, and it touched the hearts of WWE. So not only did they give him an honorary contract, he was actually on the show signing his contract with his favourite superstar, Stardust. But also they sent him a one-of-a-kind Mattel action figure based on what his character would look like if it was really in the WWE. Drax Shadow. This is made by Mattel, and it is one of a kind. Next up, we've got the ENZO Retro. You can see the picture on screen right now. This is a good-looking retro. Loads of detail. It's got chains. It's got the ENZO microphone. How you doing? And it wasn't released due to ENZO being investigated by the police. And obviously, WWE weren't aware of this, and so they fired him. And so, as a result, they pulled all of his figures that were in the process of being made, this being one of them. And so, yeah, this was the only time we saw this ENZO Retro. It was meant to come out in the Retro line, but it was replaced by Kevin Owens. It was a Kevin Owens that we'd had before, but they just repainted it to make it look a little bit different. So, yeah, that's the story behind the ENZO Retro. That meant that Kevin Owens was the first superstar to get 2 retro figures. Next, we've got statues and dolls. These are all one-off things that were shown, I believe, to gauge interest, to kind of see if people would be interested in buying them if they were actually made. So the first thing we've got is Randy Orton, RKO'ing CM Punk. Look at that statue. Absolutely awesome. And what's amazing is you can see in the background of that picture, it was shown at the same time as the Gobbledygooker. The Gobbledygooker figure also never came out, and we mentioned that in our unreleased video, part 1. Another statue was the Beth Pheonix statue. Again, this was shown San Diego Comic-Con. Sadly, the only time we saw it. It does look a little bit Barbie-esque, but it looks very cool as well. So yeah, Beth Pheonix statue. How about this for something a little bit different? This is called Gulliver's Travels. It's a fun little diorama based on Gulliver's Travels using 8 Rey Mysterio rumblers and a giant Rey rumbler. Kind of looks very much like a 3-count crusher, but I don't think they ever made a Rey Mysterio 3-count crusher. If they did, then I'm pretty sure that's what it would have looked like along those lines. So yeah, very, very cool. Something a little bit different. Next, John Cena and Nikki Bella. Obviously based on when John proposed to Nikki. You can see Nikki here with those dolls at last year's WrestleMania Access. Fast forward a few days and they had sadly broken up. So yeah, absolutely incredible timing. But yeah, she was a fan of them. She said they looked absolutely amazing. I'm not sure what the future plans were for these. I don't know if they were just made to advertise the dolls range, but we never got them. The same with this Macho Man and Elizabeth as well, that was shown at the same fan access. Very, very cool. Next up, we've got Paul Ellering, Build-A-Figure Paul Ellering. Paul Ellering, of course, was the manager of the Authors of Pain when they were down in NXT. Once they got called up, though, they parted ways with Paul Ellering, so there wasn't a need for his figure. This was meant to be a Build-A-Figure. I'm not sure what series it was going to be in, but this was the only time we saw it. I should imagine this is now in Bill McKenna's personal collection. Maybe even Zack Ryder's got it. I'm not too sure. But very, very cool. Real shame, because Paul Ellering was the legendary manager of the Legion of Doom as well. So it would have been great to have gotten a Paul Ellering figure. And then the final figure, guys. This is special. This is something that I absolutely stumbled across. And it's in AJ Lee's book, Crazy is My Superpower. Now, you might remember that I actually bought this when I was in America last September. I actually picked it up on one of our toy hunts. And it's a book that I've actually not got round to fully reading. I started it, but I've not got round to fully reading it. But if you get to the pictures in the middle, there is a picture in this book that has blown my mind. Check this. I'm not sure if you can see, but just here is a picture of AJ Lee in a Kane mask. And that is apparently an actual Mattel prototype. That is an actual Mattel prototype of a figure that never got released. I will put a better image up here, but just to prove that it is actually in this book. That is, and I can tell you what it says underneath. It says, an official Mattel prototype of me as Kane, not me, AJ Lee. The outfit I wore in this segment was an homage to the Queen of Crazy, Harley Quinn. You might remember that CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, AJ Lee were all in a bit of a feud. They were in a storyline around 2012, 2013. And during a match on Raw, AJ Lee actually came out dressed as Kane. She caused a distraction. It meant that Kane and Daniel Bryan, Team Hell No, lost a match against CM Punk and Sheamus. Well, based on that moment, it looks like Mattel were going to make this figure. AJ Lee dressed as Kane. Honestly, this has come out of nowhere. I didn't know about this figure a few weeks ago. So, yeah, very, very cool. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to check out part 1, then I will put a link on screen now so that you can do that. I am going to go away, start working on part 3 of this series because there's more figures that have been shown or haven't been shown, but there's prototypes of that have never been released. So I will go away, work on part 3. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, hit the subscribe if you haven't already, and hopefully I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.